Okay, today's video is about a strategy that you can use to get your opponent to hit short balls that you can attack and take advantage of. It all has to do with the height that you're clearing the net and how much topspin you are getting on your shots. You want a lot of RPMs on the ball, like Nadal. Why? Because if you notice, Nadal hits with such heavy topspin, he has so many RPMs that when his shots land near the baseline, forget it. The opponent is back by the back fence trying to get it back. And even when he hits relatively shorter shots, they're still rising. Now, that's going to be the key. And here's the marker for you. The marker is going to be you want to hit shots that are rising as they cross the baseline. So if you hit something back here, maybe this is 4 feet from the baseline or even 6 feet from the baseline, and the ball is still rising as it crosses the baseline, that's going to produce some short balls from your opponent. Now, like I said, it all depends on how much spin you get, the pace that you're using, and the height that you're clearing the net. Because a guy like Nadal, I mean, he can hit balls 10 feet short of the baseline, and they're still rising through the baseline. Okay, but for most of us, it might be closer. We have to hit closer to the baseline to make sure that that ball is rising. Because you're forcing your opponent, now they have to hit it on the rise, which is a tougher shot, or they have to back up. And many times, I'm talking many times, you're going to get a weak reply. So you're going to get that short ball. Look to move forward right away, attack that, hit an approach shot, come in. So how do we do that though? How do we hit those high loopy ones that land close enough to the baseline where our shot is coming off the court and rising past that baseline? Number one, you've got to change your visual. You've got to start to think higher over the net. Number two, you want to put more spin on the ball so that when it comes off the court, it explodes like a Nadal forehand. So you've got to get more spin. You've got to visualize the ball clearing the net by a safer margin. So normally if your window is, let's say, 5 foot, 6 foot window, 4 foot window, and your shots are still landing kind of deep, but not with a lot of topspin, you want to raise the window and increase the topspin. So how do we increase our topspin? Basically, when you're hitting the ball, let's just use the word a flat forehand. There's very few times that you're going to see a player hit a totally flat forehand. Usually there's a little bit of spin involved, a little low to high. But typically the swing pattern is more horizontal. Okay, so let's say this is the low point of my backswing, and this is my finish. So I'm swinging, low to high, but it's more of a horizontal swing. To get more topspin, I want to increase the angle of my swing. So I've got to get the racket lower. Instead of thinking, I'm famous for saying 1 foot below the ball. So instead of 1 foot below the ball, go for 2 feet or 3 feet below the ball. Almost like you're trying to hit a topspin lob. So you're coming down more and you're visualizing that high net clearance. That's going to give you that shot. That's going to produce some weak replies by your opponent. So here's a way you could practice this. You could just drop hit and hit some forehands and backhands and see if you can produce that, you know, high loopy ball that's rising past the baseline. On the other side of the net there, I've got cones and I've got tubes, and the cones are about 6 feet from the baseline and the cones are about 4 feet from the baseline. So I'm just going to drop hit some shots here and see if I can make the balls land in that general area. See, that one was even a little short. The first two were good. A little long, maybe. That one was good. And that one was a little, but I think safe to say I had enough spin on those so they were still rising as they crossed the baseline. So remember your basics when you're out practicing this. Just want to make sure you drop the racket lower than normal and visualize your shot clearing the net by a safer margin higher than normal. Those were all pretty good. Okay, take a look in slow motion. You're going to see how low the racket drops. Right there. Look at how low that, it's almost touching the court. From here, I'm going to brush up and I'm visualizing a very high net clearance. Now watch as I come up, you're going to see brushing there. This ball here is still rising and it's getting close to the net. So watch, you'll see it's still going up. So that's the mindset you need to hit those deep ones. And you can practice this off the backhand side as well. Okay, the same thing on the backhand side. Notice the racket's going to really drop down right there. So it's way below the ball. Now I'm going to get that brushing action coming up. I've increased the angle of my swing. Very high finish. Again, look at the height over the net. So get that mindset and you're going to get some weak replies that you can take advantage of. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's a good strategy to use. It definitely will produce some short balls by your opponent when you keep it deep with that heavy spin rising past the baseline. That's the key. So Be ready for those short ones though. When you hit those kind of shots, you got to be alert. You got to take a step forward and get ready for that short ball. So I hope this works for you. Give it a shot. Please post any comments or questions below. I'll do my best to answer you. And check out my website. It's in the description box. I've got a lot of courses there that can help you be the best tennis player you can be. I also have in those many courses fitness and nutrition, which are a big part of what I do, which helps me maintain a decent level even at age 74. So give me a shout out, and once again, thanks to all of my subscribers. I appreciate your support over the years, and I appreciate your thankfulness and gratitude for what I'm doing. Thank you so much.